Imagine you worked so hard and everything you worked for got taken away from you in a split second. Every time I hear this question, I think of one name, Derrick Rose. It was the 2008 NBA draft, and the first name called was Derrick Rose. At this point in his career, he was an up-and-coming all-star. He was actually on track to become better than Michael Jordan. During his prime season, he was favored to win Most Valuable Player award, and he was also favored to win the NBA Finals with the Chicago Bulls. He soon came to the conclusion that he wouldn't be able to further extend his career. Early April of his prime season, he found out that he tore his ACL, MCL, and meniscus, taking him out of his career indefinitely. The purpose of this story is not to bore you or even inform you on the NBA. It is to put into perspective how fast a life-changing event can happen for these athletes. We often see the outer surface of what athletes go through. We see when they win a big game and when they lose a big game. But what we don't see is the mental toughness it takes to get to those big games. I broke down the mental health of injured athletes into 4 main topics: culture, psychological, post-injury, and support. Starting with culture. When I think of the word suppression, I actually think the word isolation, specifically isolation of feelings. In the American culture, athletes are held to super high expectations, and if they don't exceed these expectations every single game, then they're not going to get the validation that they work for. 2 main things that athletes work for are getting their name out there and getting positive validation. When the athletes are working as hard as they can and only feeling like they're getting one of 2 things that they deserve, this affects them psychologically. It affects their confidence and overall physical capability. But the athletes feel that they can't show that. So what they do is they bottle up their feelings to the point where nobody can see them. Seeking help. According to News Decoder 2023, 35% of athletes feel that they can reach out to someone during a mental health crisis. This leaves 65% of athletes feeling that they can't reach out to someone. Seeing this from an athletic perspective means that these 65% of athletes don't want to put themselves in a vulnerable position, specifically because of the immense amount of pressure. When the athletes show any signs of weakness, this is when the culture slanders their name and hurts their image even more than it already is. Psychological effects. Identity crisis. Identity crisis is one of the most devastating aspects of psychological effects. What this does is these athletes are known